ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated, patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for. I've said it a million times, guys. I've been using ZocDoc for years now. Go to ZocDoc.com/BCC and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/BCC. ZocDoc.com/BCC.
Welcome to the chain. Welcome to the BCC Club. We are your hosts. I'm Kendahl Andrew.
And I'm Sarah Shower, and today we are joined by the Good Children podcast. Well, Good Children podcast. Can you introduce yourselves?
Hi. I'm Joe Hedges.
And I'm Andrew Muscarella.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited to be here.
Thank you for coming. We're actually in London right now with Radar. We're
So
Radar.
normal.
We're one of the Radar podcasts with Spotify. And we have just met the Good Children last night.
Yeah.
And it was such a treat.
We had a
hit it
7-course to 14-course dinner.
It felt like a challenge. It felt like it was almost a horror movie by the end of it.
Yeah.
That's what we kept saying. They kept bringing, because it wasn't like normal. It was not normal.
No.
It was not. It was incredible. It was not. They couldn't just. They were acting like we should have expected this. They were like, "This is your fifth dessert we're bringing. You should have known."
Yeah.
And and by the end, I was like, "This is scary. Like, I'm worried. I'm gonna try to like step out, and they're gonna be like, oh no, one more course
with more dry ice, like more smoke. Everything
more
was
sorbet.
smoking.
Yeah.
I've never seen so much dry ice. I said as we're leaving, I was like, it feels like one of the staff members was like, let me buy a dry ice machine, please. And the owner was like, okay, but I just don't think we're going to use that. And he's like, trust me, I will put it to use. Like, we'll use it. Because like 7 of the
at least
appetizer, entrees, dessert, every single thing had dry ice happening.
Yeah.
And in the drinks.
it was drama. There was drama with it.
It was
like,
your motion picture.
The gasps that you would hear at the table was just, it was next level.
Because you always have to do a like smoke, but it was like the 8th time we'd seen it.
So
wow. But it was honestly, I was impressed every time. It was such a treat.
Yeah, it felt like a hot dog eating contest. Where like you're just sweating, and then like after the 5th round, you put your hair back, and you're like, "Fuck, okay, yeah, let's do this."
It was so good. It was so good. Okay, I am fascinated with the two of you because you started your podcast like a year ago.
Just over, around a year and a half.
But you've known each other since you were 4.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, we met at a Hard Rock Hotel pool in Orlando, Florida.
Which, like, that's so on brand for us.
It really checks out.
Yeah, and we've gone back many times since. You know, that's an amazing
The same
location.
hotel?
Yes,
Yeah, of course.
yes,
Oh,
of
wow.
course.
Like, we lived the same moment.
We've swam in the kiddie pool again. But by fate, we actually had already been going to the same preschool, but like different categories of it. So we had never crossed paths.
Was
And
one
then-
of you say different categories.
Like, I was full-time. My parents were like, get the fuck out. Joe was half-time.
Okay, got it. I thought you meant like more intellectual. That's intellectual. I said,
well,
let's take a guess.
No.
You're in like the AP preschool program.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And then we ended up being from the same town, going to the same elementary school, and then from that day forward, things just snowballed into disaster, and here we are
with
you
each
know?
other literally every single day after school, constantly with a camera on.
Yeah,
I would
making
come
our
over.
little videos.
Joe's like, "We're recording today." I'm like 5 years old. I'm like, yes, we are.
Like, be ready.
You took it
Off book.
seriously.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because that's how in middle school I was a filmmaker, and I would do none of my homework because I had I was so bad at school. Like I used to like study for like 6 hours for weeks every day, 6 hours for weeks for tests, and I would fail them, and I was finally like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. So I would just not do any of the homework, but I would ask my teachers if I could make a film about the content we were learning in class, and they would be like, okay, like you still have to do your homework. And I would make the most insane I mean, especially in Spanish class, I would make like these Spanish
yes.
dramas. I would make,
I
and I was obsessed. But I took it really seriously.
Yes,
Like
for
I was like,
sure.
well, if you're not gonna put in the work, like you're not gonna get cast in my film. And like all my
Right.
friends were like, we don't want to do this. Like, we literally don't care
You're
if
like,
we're
I don't care,
casting.
Claire. You're cut.
Yeah, like great. I've been calling my mom to pick me up for 4 hours.
That is so much initiative for a 5th grader to just pass. I'm actually kind of shocked that your teachers weren't like, there's some, like, we know that she's smart, but there's something wrong.
Right.
And to not adjust the grading accordingly.
They would give me extra credit. Like they would give me, but it was wild because instead of studying for a test, I would spend upwards 30 hours like writing, casting, editing this
nuts.
movie.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, I did not do my homework. That was
And-
like 1 page of simple math.
It would feel like a cop out. Like I remember when I would get like a video assignment, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm cheating. Like this is so easy comparatively to like doing like 7 times 10." I'm like, no
No.
chance, no chance.
Joe,
So,
what's
like,
7 times 10?
70.
Ooh.
Yes, that's very
Thanks, you
good.
guys.
That's very good.
It also would be like I'm always like I'm trying to get back to the confidence I had in middle school. Like which
Yeah.
is feels like opposite of what other people. But I'm like I'm desperately because I remember when they would give a video assignment in middle school, I would literally be sitting there thinking like everybody is looking at me right now, like being like, what is she gonna make?
Yeah.
She gonna
Yeah.
What is she gonna cook up?
Yeah.
Like what is it gonna be?
During what part of the class period did you premiere your videos?
Well, it would be different. It would be different per. I mean, I did it for years. Like I did it all the way up through high school.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it was, and sometimes it wasn't even for lack of a good grade. Like sometimes I would have an A, like English class I always had an A in because I had a crush on my
course.
English teacher.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I would make her movies, which looking back, I'm like, I wonder if she was like, you have to stop doing this. It's clear you are in love with me. Stop making movies for the books you read in class and be
About
like,
me.
hello,
Yeah.
I made you this movie.
It's just like an iPhone slideshow of like her face.
Yeah.
It's like music over the years. Yeah.
The Great Gatsby soundtrack
Yes.
is playing. It's just
And then it's just like a green light and then like you sitting in a dark room and saying her name over and over again.
Oh, my God, it's such
I
a
wonder
big
how
crush.
she's doing.
I think about it constantly, and I've looked her up. I've desperately tried to find her. She is she's no social
She's
media.
listening to this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I think
She's
she
here.
is. Sometimes I'm like, is she? I think she like knew I was gay for sure. I think she like.
I think
Well,
all
English teacher
teachers do.
always
She
did,
chose
yeah.
that job to be
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't do that by accident.
Yes.
It's intentional. When we first started our pod, our immediate thought for our first guests ever would be our English teachers from high school, and we still haven't done it. But like we got to reach out to them
I
and
like
like
FaceTimed.
that's a little bit. That's
I thi-
beyond.
It was a little bit beyond. I was like
And also,
sitting
we
in
had,
my
like,
bed.
just started our podcast. Like we had there was no
Right.
quantifiable evidence that it was going to be successful, and like we were like, hey guys, like we're reaching out, like we're coming back after all this time.
Yep.
Like we want to do a retrospective, like show our listeners who we once were. Like it was so self-important.
Yeah.
But I think as English teachers, they saw through to it, and they were
did.
like, yeah, you've always been like this.
And they did it.
So
we actually
they
ghosted them.
agreed to it. Yeah. We were like, our listeners want to hear
They
from you.
want
At that time, it
this.
was like 100 people.
They
All right.
need
They
this.
need this. They're obsessed with it, and they've been asking actually. And it was just an excuse for me to have like a 50-minute FaceTime with my English
Yeah.
teacher from 11th grade to be
Wait.
like, "I'm actually gay," and you were right.
You
So
have to do it.
you were right.
I know.
You have to do it.
I agree.
No.
I'm a listener and I'm requesting.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
look at that.
Here it is. It's happening. Mrs. Rossi, we're coming for you. Yeah, she's listening.
Well, so yeah, you've known each other for so long.
Yeah.
What made you decide to start a podcast? You kind of told me this story last night, and I need you to tell it again because
Yeah.
it's insane.
I think you should go ahead and tell it.
Okay, there are 2 different versions, but we'll tell like the crazy version first.
Yeah.
So we moved into our apartment in 2021, and we were living with a gas leak for about a year and a half, I would say.
Hell yeah.
So we would walk into exactly. We would
Yeah.
walk into our apartment and be like, it just like smells a little bit like gas, but that's fine.
We were like, that's just how it smells.
Yeah.
here.
And I'm like,
it's just that's the natural scent of the apartment is gasoline.
Love
Yeah.
the smell of gas. Our friends would like come over. They'd be like, you guys, I think there's something off in here. We would have
We were like,
friends
"It's
stay
fine."
over. They clock out. They would sleep on the couch. They would have the best sleep of their lives. We would wake up.
They'd be flatlining.
Yeah, no,
You're like,
actually,
"Whoa."
actually, we're like kind of like going delusional. We're having conversations that are just a little bit nuts. We started the web series. We did that.
And that also all came at the peak of winter when all the windows were closed, which I think added to it. Like once we didn't leave the apartment for a month straight at one point.
Did you have a headache?
Oh, for
every day.
sure.
I mean, I always do.
Yeah.
You know,
I just thought I was
just
dehydrated.
Yeah.
It was like, drink more water. But yeah, we did a web series. We both agreed, like, this is actually, like, we have to, like, say bye to our friends. Like, we're going to be the most famous people on the
we were
planet.
preparing for, we had like a affirmation before we shot it every day on iPhone with no microphone, like a script we wrote in 2 days, like the most chaotic day. We'd be like, this is the highest grossing series on HBO Max. And we would say every single day. And then we like premiered the web series and it got like 2,000 views.
And we were like, all right, well, and then it got to a point where we were like having these conversations, 3-hour conversations. We're like, why do we not just like put a camera on us while we speak? And that's exactly what we did. We also had like, obviously, since we grew up with each other for the past 22 years, like we have documented literally everything in our entire lives.
Yeah.
And Joe has done a really great job of archiving everything like month by month, year by year.
Incredible.
Yeah,
because
sick.
that's
it's
what
crazy.
I'm like so jealous because I have no footage. I have like no footage of, and I filmed a lot when I was growing up, but like I have this one video I always think about. It's me and my middle school boyfriend. We're in my room and it's such a like, obviously I was gay because the fact that we were both doing this is just like, we did not want to talk to each other. We were like, don't. But we went in and it's us. It's filmed on my laptop, like on like iMovie. And it's to the song, we play I'm a Bee. And it's just us dancing separately, like 6 feet apart to I'm a Bee. And I think about that video so often.
And it's gone forever.
I have no idea. Media. I have no idea where it would be.
Maybe you'll find it one day.
Part of me is like, do I want to find this footage or is this going to be what ends my career if I find this footage?
Yeah. I do, I like backpedaling a little bit. I just thought of like a Sean Evans type of show where, you know, instead of increasing hot sauces, it's just you increase the amount of gas that's in your house.
Yes.
And you can see how long the guest lasts without passing out.
When you say last, you mean survive?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they just fell asleep and had a really good night's sleep. So
we got it fixed. Don't worry. They put
They
a piece of
taped it
tape
up.
over it.
They taped it
tape?
up.
Where was it coming out of?
Out of our stove.
And we knew it was from the first day. Like they installed the stove and we said, we said, but that must just be how stoves smell.
And then we tried to like negotiate rent and be like, well, you were actually gaslighting us for the past year and a half. They're like, but you said nothing.
Yeah, they were like,
right.
what do you want us to do about that? How would we possibly know that you
known.
guys were smelling gas for a year and a half?
But
I'm so excited for free rent.
So have you been to the doctor? Is there long-term effects?
We
Yeah.
been
To the
to the
doctor, Joe.
That's a really good question.
Thank you for asking.
Because we're in London, so
This is
right.
my
maybe you
chance.
should
This
go.
is my chance.
Okay,
'Cause
after this, we'll
you
leave.
asked about insurance, and I think I gave a private answer off camera. That should tell you
That tells
if
me
I've been to
all.
the doctor.
Yeah.
But honestly, thank you for the gas leak. We have a podcast, so
Yeah.
here we are.
Any long-term effects are fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'm so glad you have a podcast. It's so fun. It's so wild to see. Like, I think in this industry, two people have known each other so long. Like, that is such a special thing. That's like such a treat. Did you both know you were gay growing up? Like, did you know he was gay and you knew he was gay?
I feel like we had an inkling, but like we wouldn't talk about it. Again, like our whole lives we were doing like high kicks, dancing, doing
Doing
performances to
drag.
like
Yeah.
literally doing
Every
drag in
day.
8th grade. Like we had a series called Farmville Moms where we like played our mothers playing Farmville.
That is
Yeah.
genius
Thank
and
you.
needs to be. My mom had a like you know when they do the loading page on Farmville and it's like, here's a farm that could never exist.
It was your mom's
That
farm.
was my mom's farm.
She had a villa.
Yeah, and she
Yeah,
got me a
Villa.
Facebook when I was like 7 because she was
Get
like,
on
you need to
Farmville.
send me wheat
Requests.
and
Yeah.
you send me wood
Yes,
and nails.
I think that was my mom's incentive to finally let me have a Facebook. She
Yeah.
was like, I need some support out here on the farm. Like,
You're not putting in your work and
no,
your
like
time.
that really was a wild time. That was like, like we were so committed to those characters. Like that was, I really do believe, like Deborah and Linda will always be a part of us as a result. And that's something that that's lost media. We have like 3 of them, but we had like 3 seasons, and then that was at like we were riding such a high until I think like we like and also it was like doing weirdly well on YouTube. Like it wasn't successful, but it was like gaining traction. Like random people were watching it, which like at that time it was like,
that's
oh my
exciting.
god,
compilation
validation.
videos. You know what I mean? Like that was like the vibe that we were
Oh
like,
my
we're the
God.
next Sophia Grace and Rosie,
which
like,
was always the goal.
Yeah.
You know? Get on Ellen.
But I
the
think
goal
that like
was Ellen.
we deleted the videos. I think it came at a time where people started to comment and be like,
You're
gay and you guys like each
Oh.
other. So I think that was when it was then became unspoken between the both of us that like even if we were gay, we weren't gonna tell the other that we were.
Yeah.
So we then just lived our entire lives like watching the barefoot contestant in his basement being like, yes, Selena Gomez is so pretty.
She's hot. She's so
Yeah.
hot.
This image of you two scrolling the YouTube, be like, we gotta read the YouTube comments, and just being like,
Let's take
and
this
they thought
one
that
down.
was really funny. I love
Gay,
our
like,
character work.
Happy, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
really
happy.
Cool. That is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
funny.
That
Yeah.
was really fun.
It really was true though, like back then, if you got on Ellen as a kid, you did it. Like you didn't
did
have
it.
to do anything. Like Sophia Grace and Rosie are still rich.
happening,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, I think they were rich before.
Does this sound like you? You obsessively follow that super credible, quote, health expert on TikTok? Well, they're wearing glasses, so why wouldn't I trust them? You take all the latest supplements your almond mom recommends, even the ones that don't taste so good going down. Why is my pea neon green? You embrace, the latest eating trends. I don't even know if I'm gluten intolerant. I just haven't eaten it in years. You follow your coworker's 9-step skincare routine plus 8-step hair. Why do I wake up with better skin when I don't wash my face? You listen to all these health-obsessed folks, but when was the last time you went to an actual good doctor? They had a stethoscope and charts, not your astrological charts, your medical charts in front of them. And if you have to think about it, it's time to head to ZocDoc. There are thousands of top-rated doctors on ZocDoc. They're all listed with verified patient reviews, so you can find and book a doctor who not only has years of experience and an actual medical degree, but also gets you. ZocDoc is a free app where you can find amazing doctors and book appointments online. We're talking about booking appointments with thousands of top-rated patient-reviewed doctors and specialists. You can filter specifically for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and treat almost any condition you're searching for. I've said it a million times, guys. I've been using ZocDoc for years now. I found my not my therapist. Not pharmacist. Psychiatrist. Okay, yes. So I've had horrible psychiatrists in the past, and I had my checkup on the 25th of this month. And my psychiatrist actually wanted to know how I was doing. Like, it wasn't like a check-in, like, hey, Sarah, you still take Vyvanse? Yes, I do. All right, get out of here. Like, she wanted to know how I was doing. We had a 30-minute conversation. When have you? And I found her through ZocDoc. Cannot recommend it her enough. Go to ZocDoc.com/BCC and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/BCC. ZocDoc.com/BCC.
We did 2 live shows on the West Coast as Sophia Grace and Rosie. In the tutus, the whole thing.
That's very good.
Because I do. I think to your point, like there was like being an Ellen kid was like it was like getting a full ride to Harvard. You were
Right.
like you don't need anything else. Like that was the long-term career goal.
They had that Target kid on. Alex from
Alex from
Target.
Yes.
Whatever happened to him?
That was one of the wildest times in pop culture.
That's
I feel like
stupid.
he was a psyop. Like he was planted by Target as
Yeah.
an advertisement for Target, and Ellen was being paid by Target to advertise Alex from Target.
Wow. Do you think the same? Well, no, I guess it. But like, Damn Daniel was around the same time.
Yeah.
Where she gave him a lifetime supply of
white
Vans.
Oh my god.
I mean, like,
And what has he done with that? Because I haven't seen.
he's not posting van content.
No,
I
not
can
doing
tell you that.
anything. He did not monetize off that.
No.
There's their podcast, Alex
Right.
from Target and Damn Daniel. I'm sure it'll happen.
We're starting it at work, and we're actually gonna
Wait.
take them on.
Yo, we put so much money into it. We go ask them, they immediately both say no. And
We're
we're like, okay.
It's a part of it.
Or one idea.
I want to leave
Just
that
ads
behind me.
by Vans.
Yeah.
But it was just like so, like there's so many kids today I'll see online where they've gone viral. Like there's that girl. Have you seen the girl who's like mean?
Yeah.
Oh
She's
yeah.
like, She's like,
Avery.
she's putting on, I don't know. She's like putting on moisturizer and she's like, here's the things I hate in people.
Yeah.
And it's just like
If you're
being a
ugly.
human being.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I am ugly.
Grow up.
Yeah.
Literally grow up. She is so intimidating, but I'm like, she in 2010 would like have her own show. Like
Oh,
she
yeah.
would be like, it would be the scariest show of all time. But like she would have her own show. But now there's just so many people like that it's like she's not gonna probably have. Well, I don't want to tell her
She
she's not
has
gonna have
a
a career. Maybe she will. But
Fortuitous career ahead of her
Love
in
Yeah.
something.
It's
in
so-
something. She could be a lawyer.
Bullying.
she could be a president.
Yeah. Well, that actually is the most likely option.
Yeah.
I would vote for her. She has my vote.
Yep.
You write her in
She
every
comes
year.
out with terrible policy. I'm like,
She's
shit,
the
this
one.
this is the end for me.
Oh my god. Okay, you're from? Wait,
Yeah,
is
you
it okay if
can
I
say
say you're
it.
from?
You can say it.
I don't want to like out your address. I said you're
No.
from this street, right?
We're like, so we live here. Actually, let's give the exact coordinates. Yeah, we're from Long Island.
Okay, and that's not. Does that give small town vibes or no?
Would you say?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I feel like yes. I think it's medium town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Medium
Okay.
town.
Yeah.
Was it like? I'm just wondering with you two being homosexual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always get so scared if we have a guest on who I'm like is gay, and then I have a panicked moment when I like ask a question that one of them's like,
Yeah.
Why
Like,
am
what are
I
you
not
talking
gay?
about?
We're
why
really-
are they asking me this?
What about your haircut?
I know. But like I feel like growing up in a small town, like my best friend and I were both gay, and we didn't talk about it, but not because we like didn't like we were not really closeted. We just like literally did not know you could be gay. Like we did not think that. Like I knew I was like Ellen is gay, and that is it. That's
Yeah.
just it.
Yeah.
There's no
Exactly.
one else. Like she was gay, and that was like crazy when she did that. But like that is it. And so we both would like be so openly. I'd be like, I would be like 14. I'd be like, I don't like any guys, but I have a huge crush on Emma Stone, and I'm obsessed with her. I have a huge crush on like all these 50 female celebrities, and I like don't know. And he'd be like, yeah, me too. I have a crush on. He dressed up every day. Who's the guy from Doctor Who?
No, like
Matt
Smith.
Matt Smith. Every day
yeah.
at school, he'd dress up like him, and he'd bring a what is it called? I don't even know what it's called. A
That wand
thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very you.
Yeah,
I was very Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Super Who-Lockian in some ways. Have you ever heard of it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was him, but we both were and we were in high school. This is not like we were in 5th grade and we're like we didn't know what being gay was. We were like people were having sex. Like our friends were having
Right.
sex with
Yeah.
each other, and we were
Yeah.
like fully just not aware and didn't understand. But we weren't like, oh, we're gay, because we just like were like that is not something we think about.
It's
Was
not
that for
possible.
in Long Island? Were there gay people? I guess is what I'm asking.
There were like a few gays like in the theater program, I would say.
Yeah.
But we would again like
I was like, they're crazy.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
like, they're wild. I
whoa.
love them.
Yeah.
I was like, I think they're really admirable and I respect them, but
Yeah.
that's nuts.
that's
like,
that's so not me though. I was like, I'm not, but they're slaying.
Yeah, you were an ally.
We were,
Yeah.
I think we were allies in that.
sure.
sense.
Go ahead and say that.
Yeah,
for the
okay.
record.
Because we had
writing history. Yeah.
because we had a gay straight alliance club. Have I told you about this? Maybe I talked about
I
it
think you
recently.
were the only member.
No. Yeah, I was the founder and
the
owner.
gay straight Ed alliance.
But it was just like we had a club. So this was like I was like a junior in high school. We had a club, and it was the Gay Straight Alliance Club, and you'd go, and it was probably 10 people who like this was like girls with a pixie cut, which was not a
Right.
thing that happened yet, and who were wearing like a lesbian flag, but
Yeah.
none of us identified as part of the LGBT community. We all said we were allies.
Yeah.
And I just think it was so precious to think of this. It was like 10 of us sitting in a circle, the gayest people you've ever seen, being like, I am an ally, so I am here to just support my other gay people.
If anyone wants to come out,
Yeah.
we are here for you.
It's a safe place.
Yeah.
But that's
close-
so funny.
I was gonna say the closest I knew, the closest to like realizing I was gay in high school was I was the creative writing teacher's assistant, and all my job was all the kids who were like into self harm, and they wrote it down. I'd have to take them, escort them to the principal's office. That's pretty much it.
And wait. And
That was an
Crazy
important word.
responsibility for a high schooler.
Well, she couldn't do it.
unacceptable.
She couldn't leave the class.
Was this a public school?
Yes, it was.
Because I went to a public school, and sometimes they would have my public middle school. We had
crazy.
I can't even remember what it was called, but it was you would have to train for it. We were 10. We were 10. You would 9, 10. You would train for it. You would go for like a full weekend of training, and it was like when two students got into an argument, they would call you in
Like
from
the
class.
de-escalation.
A child de-escalates a fight.
And they were like, this is because like sometimes having a peer be there is like really good. And I was like, this is because you do not want to pay. You don't have enough money to get someone else. This is what
Like
this is.
actual security?
Yeah, like we just had no, because I'm like, there's no way having me do this is helpful.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Were you like tall?
Wild.
Yes, I would. I remember it was so bizarre. I only did it once. It rarely were they called in because it was always for something that was kind of like a non-issue.
Yeah.
Like these two girls are like ganging up on each other or whatever. But they weren't allowed to talk to each other. They could only talk through me. So they would stand on either side. I'm like, this is why I'm toxic now. Like I was literally trained by my middle school to do this.
Me.
So they would tell me, and then I would say, Jessica just told me they're with me. They're both in the room. Jessica's told me that she just feels, and I learned how to say kind of like feels instead of says. She feels as though, you just made her feel blah, blah. And then I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Rebecca told me that it was not.
You're like a drama interpreter.
Yeah.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy that they made children do that.
Wild, huh?
Yeah.
They found a way to get into like genuinely like the best location of drama in middle school, but make it like a professional work environment, which is amazing.
Because I would get excited. I
Of
would
course.
be like, I'm about to fucking find out the most incredible tea. And it was always girls that were more popular than me. Like that was, it was such a power move because I'm in my Bermuda shorts and my Crocs. I always wore this frog hat because I always wanted a thing. I was like, I'm gonna have a
frog
thing.
girl.
So I got this frog beanie and I was like, I'm gonna wear this every day.
Right.
So I'm wearing this. I have the worst haircut. I have braces. I have headgear. Like I am really not
Were you wearing
doing-
headgear to school?
only to sleep, but
Same.
photos had been
I'm like,
taken and
same.
people had seen it.
Joe came into school one day with the headgear.
The day
For
I got
attention.
it. Yeah, the day I got it, I was like, hey guys. And I was in 2nd grade, which is also even crazier because like my parents had autonomy over me then. Yeah.
Yeah.
2nd
And
grade.
everyone was like, oh, Joe, are you okay?
And I was like, yeah, this is just who I am now.
2nd grade, it's still cool though. People probably were like, "That's cool."
I look like a RoboCop.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Yeah, but I was like a loser. I would like, and I was like fine. Like I was not bullied or anything, but like I was not cool.
Right.
And then it would be like all these like really cool. I was gonna say hot girls once, not
But-
hot to me now, but as like
Hot
they
then.
were like
I get it.
middle school hot, where you were like, whoa, they're really cool. They're wearing like yoga pants and whatever. And just having the two of them have to come for me for the drama. I was
You,
like,
the
this
police.
is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So that was incredible.
That is incredible.
What was your style? As I was a Bermuda shorts girl, what was your styles in middle school?
I definitely think it was like peak Abercrombie and Fitch
Oh,
if
yeah.
I fit.
Mm,
And even if I didn't, still in
you
it.
got in there.
Yeah, I was definitely shoving myself in those shirts. A plaid short for sure.
It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
plaid. It was
A plaid
anything
short is good.
style icons Dylan and Cole were wearing
Yeah.
at that time.
Oh, yeah.
That was
And more specifically, Zach and Cody. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like they were who I looked to for fashion at that point.
A fellow Leo. Their birthday's August 4th.
Oh my God.
There are so many August 4th.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Sprouses in the audience today.
Yeah.
You, them. Your haircut is kind of giving Sprouse to them.
That's the photo I brought in.
Was it?
No.
I was gonna say that's so
It is
rude.
like them in the first couple seasons,
Yeah.
unfortunately, too. No, they have they have the same. Well, your birthday's August 2nd, right?
Yes.
They have the same birthday as me, Meghan Markle, Greta. Can't believe this is the
Greta?
second time. You're like, we've only known each other 24 hours. This is the second time we've
Reciting
done
it.
this.
I'm reciting it with you. I'm like
Meghan Markle, Barack Obama, Greta Gerwig,
Yep.
Dylan Cole Sprouse.
Wow.
Wow.
And me.
And Joe's
My
boyfriend.
my boyfriend
boyfriend.
and my high school girlfriend's grandma.
And how was she?
May she rest.
She wouldn't celebrate on the 4th because it was Obama's birthday. So that
For
should
because
tell
she loved
you.
him so much or because she hated him so
Respect.
much?
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
It was Long Island, so it was because
She
she
did
hated
not
him.
like.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay. I thought she was like out of respect.
No,
I shall
love
not
that.
share a birthday
That's
with
me
Barack
with
Obama.
Charlie XCX. I'm like, I won't celebrate on the 2nd because I
Yeah.
respect her too
Yeah.
much. She needs it.
She did tell me that I had tree trunk legs. And
Yeah.
we could leave it there.
Not
Charlie
Charlie.
XCX.
No, no.
I would be like, thanks.
Joe's
I was
ex-girlfriend's
like, you be
grandma.
grateful. You be grateful right now.
If Charlie XCX told me I had tree trunk legs, I'd be rocking these legs nonstop. and make a song about it.
If you have leaves, you'd be wearing a coat with leaves all over it.
You'd get some Bermuda shorts.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
I saw TikTok of you saying that you loved like mythological worlds growing up and that you like really wanted to be
anything.
And I relate to that. Maybe it's because we're Leos. I feel like still to this day I don't want to say depression because I know that is very serious, but I genuinely feel as though I get depressed. When I remember I will never be a wizard in Harry Potter. And not in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter, my own Harry Potter that's existed for a very long time. I have a really hard time with that.
It's tough being in London.
It's
tough
being
in London
it's
for that
tough.
purpose.
It's triggering.
It's upsetting.
No, I remember my 11th birthday. Like I woke up that morning because that's the year in Harry Potter where you get your acceptance letter from Hogwarts. And like I had the wherewithal at that age to know it wasn't going to happen. You know, I was like, this is a book written by a woman who lives in like this. I was like, this is not real.
You said it was written by a man. That bitch is lying.
I was like trying to think of like one more way to describe her that wasn't like a transphobe. I didn't know that at 11. So I remember waking up and my sister had got me like a custom Hogwarts acceptance letter with like my name. Like it was
that is very precious.
But it was just one of those things where like I opened it and I was just like,
this is not fucking real.
It made it worse. I was like, this was not delivered by Owl. You slid this under my door. It was from Etsy.
Her poor sister, she's like dressed as Hagrid. She's like on stilts. She's like,
she made a cake.
I'm so sorry.
And you're like, fucking bitch. And she's just like crying running with the cake.
I think my cake was a happy birthday Harry cake that year. Yeah. It was a dark time. That was,
wow.
I wouldn't even think it was a stretch to say depression began, actually. Because I was like, oh, wow, it's just never going to be this good.
Right.
It's just going to keep going downhill. And then Demigods, Percy Jackson, familiar?
Right. Yeah.
That was a time when I was like, I am absolutely the child of Poseidon. I was like, this actually explains.
You did make that your brand.
Yeah. I was like, this explains a lot about me. I was like, this is like, that's why I'm so strange. It's like, I'm not meant to be here. I'm meant to be at Camp Half-Blood. Vampires, obviously, which to this day, I'm like, there's always a chance. Now that we're here, I'm like, this is definitely a vampire city or a werewolf.
Yeah.
Were you into the mythological
I wasn't
world?
as much as Joe. I think I was like brought into the universe because of Joe. It's like, again, I would go over Joe's house and he would either educate me on it or I'd be in a full production being a wizard. So I'd be like, I actually have to learn real quick.
Expecto
Patronum, give me that fucking wand. Yeah, I'm gonna make you disappear. So I would say I wasn't as much into it. I will say Percy Jackson was probably the only series that I think I was into.
I never got into that one.
Yeah, I feel like, how old were we?
That was like 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
Oh.
I always was like, and this may be dark, but I always felt like I wanted something, like even, so the Hunger Games came out.
Devastating.
To kill a friend.
To kill a friend. Devastating to kill a family member. Who knows? I mean, very devastating. But I think I still was like, I want to be in this world, which is fucking crazy because we kind of are. And also, besides like literally picking what, like besides the actual Hunger Games, which is like, why would you want that to happen? But I think but I would have a similar feeling when I was a kid and they'd be like, oh, an earthquake's gonna happen. And I would be like, okay, I don't want an earthquake to happen, but if we all had to like go into a bunker together, would be kind of a vibe. You know what I mean?
We would have fun, right?
I wanted to, maybe it was just me wanting to bond with someone. I was like, if I'm stuck in a bunker with everyone from my middle school, like I will make friends. Like I will be fine.
Will you be mediating the whole thing?
Like,
okay.
I'd be like, I know all your drama.
My parents are doomsday preppers, so they actually do have a bunker and generators in case like all the power goes out. So if they die, I inherit a bunker if you want to stay in one.
Wait. Are they stocking the food too?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of food down there.
Do they freeze dry?
I'm not sure, but there's a lot of cans of things that don't expire, and it's underground.
Was this long-standing, or was this like a response to COVID?
Oh, every house that they've had since they've retired. They've built something
So
like
they
this.
were ready for 2020.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're like super Christian and they think that the rapture's going to happen. But I was like, if the rapture happens, you guys would be gone. So why do you need a bunker?
Right.
And they're
Who's
like,
having the food?
yeah, and they're
Right.
like, this is another thing because they're like children of the Cold War. So they're like,
This is another thing.
they're like, if they drop nukes on the capitals,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're prepared for both scenarios.
Rapture or nuclear war.
Yes.
Yeah, they have it figured out.
I
Yeah.
remember the big rapture that was going to happen in like 2011.
Oh, yeah.
2012 was a different one.
Oh.
Yeah. there was
Sorry.
because there was March 21st, 2012. I think was
Mhm.
no. Is that
There
when
was-
the Hunger Games came out?
That was
I
my
think
rapture.
that was
It's when
actually
One
the
Direction
Hunger-
broke up.
Yeah. No, but there was one in like May of 2011 that was like I just started Catholic school, or I was like a year into Catholic school, and I was like, oh, this is it. Like this is the end. Like I didn't sleep for days in preparation for that rapture. It was a great time. I was always prepared for the end of the world, but not in a tactical way, in
Yeah.
like a mental
You
way.
like accepted fate.
I accepted
You're like,
death
I'm
often
dead.
as a child.
I'm
Yeah.
dead.
Walking around just being like, I
This
am
is it.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
wow. Yeah, no, I was like not. I feel like I used to be really scared of the end of the world. Like I remember the
Yeah.
day in elementary school they explained to us what nuclear bombs were,
Yes.
and I was like,
In
we-
elementary school?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Were you
I
not
rem-
doing the drills?
What?
we did a drill.
weren't
You
we,
get
like-
under
Oh, you're
the
cowering. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
like
was the
this is
drill.
not gonna do anything. So crazy. It's so crazy when you start to find out that all the safety precautions are like not helpful.
No.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is why don't we just all like hang out if we know a nuclear
Yeah.
bomb's coming?
Take out the pretzels from the closet.
Yes.
You know, finally distribute those pretzels in water bottles. I was waiting the
Yes.
whole year.
Starving.
Wheel out the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they explained that to us, I do remember being like, even as a kid, being like, we shouldn't have. You shouldn't have told us that. We were
Yeah.
all like, we were all so scared for
course.
weeks, being like, it's coming. It was terrifying. But now, I love dinosaurs very much,
Love that.
and I know now it's like, I know a lot of people are into dinosaurs now, but
But it was
the
cool
way
when
in
you were
which
a teenager.
Yeah.
I've been into dinosaurs is very different,
Yeah.
and it is much more special for me
I get
than
it.
anyone
Of
else. Just
I get
kidding.
it.
Yeah.
But I love dinosaurs. But the more I got into dinosaurs, I think the less I got scared of the end of the world, because when you watch so many documentaries about how the way the dinosaurs went is really disturbing.
Devastating.
It's really
Yeah.
scary, because I used to think it was just like it exploded,
Mhm.
but it's not. It like exploded, and then because of like it was like a slow like
They
species
suffocated.
dying off, suffocating, and then like the chemical reaction caused an acid rain
Yeah.
that kept, so not great. But I was just like, oh, everything was okay though now. Like I think it comforted me that I was like, if our world ends,
A
Because-
new one will be born from the ashes.
right?
Yeah.
Because the Earth was barren for like 200,000 years. Did you know this?
No. This has become a history podcast and I'm obsessed.
All the comments are gonna be like, Kendall's wrong about all this. She watched a YouTube video that was from a 12-year-old talking about this, and this is not real. But from what this video said, 200,000 years, the Earth was barren, and then it regrew.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, that actually makes me feel very calm, because I think I'm constantly in the state of like, we fucked
Yeah.
up, which we
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the dinosaurs didn't fuck up the Earth, but acid rain's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's scary.
I guess they didn't do that, but
That comforts you when you think about nuclear war.
yeah, I think just the world ended. No,
You went from nuclear bombs to acid rain, dinosaurs
I
dead.
think I just used the end of the world. I used
Yeah.
to be like, oh
Yeah.
God, the end of the world. But now I'm kind of like, if the world ends, it may grow back.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
beautiful.
That's stunning.
And maybe that's for the best. I don't
Yeah, I'm. When we talk about like Hunger Games, the end of the world, do you guys have like a will to survive any of these trials? Like,
no, if I
yeah.
was in the Hunger Games, I would have knocked myself out of the cornucopia and called it a day.
know. You
Yeah.
can just stay on the thing.
I just
Oh,
jumped
just
off the
And it
explode.
platform.
explodes.
Oh,
Oh.
I wouldn't have been able to get off it that fast. Like that leap down.
Yeah.
Like, give me 5 minutes.
The dive into the water
No chance.
in the second
Zero
movie,
chance.
I'm like, and also I'm like, did you have to dive? Like, what is this flex you're trying to do? I would be
Like,
jumping.
full of shame in the bodysuit. I'd be the first in that water. Actually, I would jump right in. I feel like in terms of a will to live in an apocalyptic scenario,
Yeah.
I think I would just want to like vibe. Well, like I'm always like vibe out, you know,
Yeah.
until my time came. Like zombie movies used to freak me out as a kid, and I was
yeah.
like, I would rather be dead than face a zombie. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm like, why not? Like, just get it over with.
What if the zombie is like Drew Barrymore in Santa Clarita Diet?
She's having fun? Like she's like quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's
then
still
you're
a
chilling.
zombie. Like
But
she's still gonna eat you.
quirky, and like I can chat with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would then at that point I would be obsessed with the idea
She's
of
chatting and
winning her
nibbling.
over.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you're not gonna eat me because you just think I'm so charming. Like,
Yeah.
that would be the goal. in
I
that
don't think she
scenario.
would eat. I mean,
Thank you.
knowing her in the show, I don't think
Yeah.
she would eat you.
I
But
think I
I
would.
always.
But if she did, like, at least you went out having an amazing conversation.
Yes.
She's like nibbling
Yeah.
a finger, and you're like, girl, you're amazing. Keep it going.
But then also, I guess you'd be living. You'd be undead, I guess. So
Which
then
I
you'd
would
be alive,
hate.
and then you'd be friends with. You wouldn't want to live forever if you had the choice to live forever.
Only if I was a vampire, and only if I was living through. I mean, I guess I wouldn't want to be alive like 300 years ago. But I feel like the idea of living forever right now is a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's just gonna get
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Acid rain.
Exactly. I'm like, I want to be
The acid rain is
undead
coming.
during like the climate apocalypse. Sounds
Yeah.
really disastrous.
Yeah.
Very true.
But a lot of bonding could
A
happen.
lot of bonding.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh my god. Oh, imagine. Would you want to live forever if you could, Sarah?
No, once my Vyvanse prescription runs
It's
out.
over. You're done.
And I imagine in like the apocalypse, there's anarchy, so there's
Yeah.
looting. You know, first place I'm going to is CVS Pharmacy.
Right. That.
And once I get all the Vyvanse, I probably have enough for a year. And then once that runs out, I'm like, I can't do this, you know?
So it's a 1 year.
Yeah.
Like
A 1 year
yeah,
supply.
subscription.
Yeah. I want to see, I just want to see how it descends. Like who's like the first to go, like lose their mind.
Yeah.
Which one of my friends would be like an asshole first?
Yeah.
You know, like kill someone?
Yeah.
I think I would
Yeah.
go crazy. I think I would go crazy quick.
I think
Yeah.
you would live through it.
I think that I would live through. I would definitely be going through like waves of emotion. Obviously,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like peaks and pits of the day.
At the end, if you're like, what's my rose and what's my thorn of
I'm going
today?
around asking. I'm like rose and thorn.
I had to eat my friend, but
Yeah, no, I do think I would live through it. I think I would live through that, and I think that like again, bringing it back to the Hunger Games, I think that I would go to win, and if I lost, I'd be dead. So that's fine. I'd die
Yeah.
trying.
I
Yeah.
think sometimes I think in scenarios like that, I think I would just die. But then I'm like, I think something would kick it. Like, I think I'd even
Adrenaline.
decide. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I think I'd be like, I'm going to just stay on that thing and it's going to explode. I'm going to be fine. But, or not fine, but I'm going to be at peace. And
Yeah.
then, but I think the second the countdown would go, I would jump into the water and be like, I have to survive. Like, I feel like but I don't think I would.
Yeah, it's fight or flight.
What's the most recent fight or flight scenario you've been in, and what was your response?
Well, this morning I got lost on the way here.
You went to Five
And I
Guys.
sprinted to Five Guys. I saw Five Guys and ran like it was my mom after for the first day of kindergarten. I was like, I'm home.
Do you guys speak English here?
An American in London. You're like Five Guys.
I said, hi guys. And then I called and I said, I'm at the Five Guys. I'm lost. So maybe I would try to find a Five Guys. That would
I
be
think
like,
that
you
makes
know, where they
sense.
make something, they do like mirages in the Hunger Game to try to manipulate you. Mine would be a
yeah.
Five Guys.
Yeah.
And then I get in there and they'd
You'd
kill
be
me.
like, what is that delicious smell?
Like, is that peanut oil?
Everyone else, they're like having their sister and their mom like screaming, and mine is just the smell of a Five Guys burger.
Or you're like getting one of those gifts, and it's just a Five Guys.
Sponsor,
Yes.
Oh, sponsored by Five Guys. What a treat that would be.
That'd be nice.
Five Guys is really good. I
Really
heard.
keep it up, Five Guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them. You got one of you likes Dunkin' or both of you. You're probably Long Island. You love
yeah.
Dunkin'.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
donks.
I have written here. You like Dunkin' Donuts. What's going on there?
What's going on? I just feel like, I mean, Long Island culture and Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts was like the first introduction to coffee that I personally had because I was like, it's cool. Like, I'm gonna get an iced caramel latte, extra pump of caramel
Yeah.
with like light with sugar,
Yeah.
and that's how I introduced myself to coffee. And then ever since, I've just loved Dunkin' Donuts.
I think like the miracle of Dunkin' Donuts is that nevertheless they persist. Like I think that that's something that I could always see inspiration in. I can always see like advocacy for. It's like no matter what, if they're having the worst day of their lives, they're gonna make something for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not what you ordered and it's not what you want,
No.
but they're gonna put something out there.
They're gonna give it to you.
And I mean, maybe they're gonna just blend 6 munchkins
Yeah.
into it now.
And
Like, and
it's going to be chunky and soggy, and that's by all means. But you know what? It's not the best coffee. by
No.
any means, but
It's not sometimes even
but
coffee, even if
they're-
you ordered it.
they're always going to pull through. You're always going to end up with something.
What happens? What happens when you go to other places at Starbucks? They're like, we're not giving you anything.
yeah, literally. I'm like, no, I think there is. I mean, we've talked about this with like Pizza Hut and Domino's, where like that's like it was Andrew's genius phrase where he was like, it's the best pizza for that genre of pizza, which
Yeah.
is like true. It's like a genre of pizza, and I think that Dunkin' is a genre of coffee.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I think that of course there are better coffees out there,
Yeah.
but there's something that only Dunkin' can provide. There's a
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
comfort they can
Yeah.
only provide with their like 7 pumps of pumpkin sauce.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nuts.
It's nuts.
Dunkin' in New York specifically, so I lived next to the one in like right off of, oh my god, I'm forgetting the name, but it was like,
LA changed you.
well, I know, I like don't even remember where. You know where it's like in Brooklyn, and it's like you get off the exit, and it is like a pizza place, a Dunkin'
Myrtle
Donuts,
Wyckoff.
a
Oh, yes.
Taco Bell. What'd you say?
Was it Myrtle Wyckoff?
No. But it's just like it doesn't.
I know
I
what
don't
you
know
mean.
why it does not matter to the story.
I know. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
iconic.
Park. No,
Oh.
no.
You're setting the scene.
Yeah, I'm setting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love
really
it.
badly.
Right off the bridge, shopping plaza.
Yes.
Yes.
Intersection.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're
But
there.
so I always went to that Dunkin' Donuts because it was just like in New York, I feel like you don't really get to pick what you like. Sometimes
No.
you just are like, well,
Yeah.
this is right next to my house, so this is where I go. So I always went to Dunkin' Donuts, and I always was like, did no one show up to their shift? And they went outside and was like, someone please
Please.
work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone always seemed so confused in a way that was like insane.
Mhm.
And I had the most normal, I would be like, I would get like a vanilla iced latte with like half the pumps. I had asked for it every time, they'd never do it, but it was like a sweet little thing we had where I'd asked for it, and it was,
Right.
and they always gave me something incorrect.
Of course.
Sometimes an extra, sometimes they'd say donut for Kendahl. I said, okay, I didn't order that.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet. And then this one time I remember I went, do you have a straw? They didn't give me a straw in my iced latte. I said, do you have a straw? He looked at me like I was asking him to have sex with me.
He was like,
Yeah.
You're ruining the planet.
He was like, a straw. And this is a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's-
A straw.
but the thing
He said, let me go ask. I said, ask? What? Where is it?
it really is. It's like, I think that like to the point, you can order the same thing every single day at Dunkin' Donuts and you will get a different variation every single time. But if you look at it as creative interpretation,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
and
Yeah.
I love variety.
I love
Yeah.
variety. Sometimes I don't want the same pumpkin spice latte every single
time.
day.
Yeah.
So
Or the same milk,
Or
or
the
the same anything.
or the
Yeah.
same or the size I asked for. And that's okay.
It's okay. Then now there's one next to my apartment now. And I go, and one morning, I of course, I didn't say anything, but I was like, this ruined my week. I was so late for work. I was so late. So, of course, I was like, I've got to go to Dunkin'. Because I'm always like, if everything went perfectly and there was no one in the drive-thru, this would take me 30 seconds. So,
Yeah.
like, get something, and then, of course, it takes 30 minutes, and I'm, like, so late to work.
Yeah.
But I went through the drive-thru, and I ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese
On a croissant?
on a croissant.
Mhm.
When
Heard
I
of
get
it.
to the window, they hand me the bag, and I drive away because I'm late, so I didn't check it. I go into the bag. They've given me a small bag of just bacon, which, first of all, I didn't know you could order that.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
The maple
is not-
bacon. Yeah.
And I was literally so mad.
Yeah.
I was like, and then it was the same day they'd given me boba. They had not boba. They had like the popping ball things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I ordered that, and then I get to the front, and they handed me a regular straw. I said, oh, it's always the straws with these people. They said, do you have a straw for the popping
Stop.
balls? And they said, we don't have those.
You have to take the lid off and start chugging.
And just
You're
chug
choking on the,
Yeah.
The popping balls. I said, how am I supposed to drink the popping balls if I don't have the? And it doesn't
No.
taste good. The drink itself doesn't taste
I'm
good.
sure,
So
of
I'm just there
course.
for the texture.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm having to like drink just mouthfuls of popping balls. Very upsetting.
Oh, jeez.
So I just had to I wanted to talk to you guys.
Yeah,
about
well,
that.
Well, I'm happy that
Yeah.
we cleared the air on
I'm
that
happy.
one.
it's definitely like an emotional journey when you go to Dunkin', but
Yeah.
it's the price you're willing to pay.
I always try to recreate that feeling at TJ Maxx. There's just they don't believe in using the shelves. They like put
Yes.
everything on the floor. They're pissed. Like every employee,
They are
it is the
pissed.
worst day of their life.
Yes.
Every day that
Yes.
they're working there.
Yeah.
And it's just so genuinely upsetting for everyone. But you know, you
Yeah.
leave with a nice shirt or
You do, but in a different mood. Because
Yes.
also with the thing about TJ Maxx, it's like you know that you're hunkering down for the longest line of your life.
Yeah.
You're like, I wish there was a fast pass in this situation because once I get to the front, they're gonna be like, where's the shirt?
And the things they try to sell you in the line of TJ Maxx
Like
should be
artisanal
illegal.
gummy
It is
bears.
like they didn't have anything. It feels like they were like, we need something to entertain them in line. And like an old woman was like, I got stuff in my car I could give you. And then she put it out on the shelves. It's like not stuff you would. I'm like, who buys this?
no, but I do. You know, I'm like buying like Rubik's cubes and luggage. Like, ooh.
You're at such a low. That they're like, let's hit them while they're low. They're gonna grab for the Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
Of course.
They're mean at the TJ Maxx, but I will say Dunkin', it almost feels like an apologetic
Yeah, bring it
energy.
back.
They're like really sorry.
Yeah.
Like they always are like handing you the wrong thing and the look in their eyes is like, I know. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then you have to just say, listen, I know.
TJ Maxx kind of makes me feel like a Victorian orphan in some ways, like on the streets, like
Begging for change.
yeah, like just like looking for things. Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, I found something that will keep me going for the next day, which I do enjoy, and I feel like more stores need to exist that don't have an inventory.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of make you feel like this is how we were supposed to be.
And it's all a little stained. Like just a
Yes.
little
Yeah,
stained.
you're
Where you
like
say,
rummage.
this can work.
I remember like as a kid going and like, or maybe it was Marsh. It was one of those like those reselling, not reselling, like whatever you would describe that
Yeah.
as.
Yeah.
And I would like look for like the Abercrombie shirts that were like Sharpied out because they couldn't legally sell them, but they like must have had like overstock. And I'd be like, this is it. Like this is the holy grail of
This is the one.
clothing. It's like a $6 Abercrombie polo shirt in a size small. Like I need this, and that's what I miss. Like it's
I
like
do.
Yeah.
it's like thrifting, but what if everything you were thrifting like made no sense?
Yeah.
Again, similarly to Dunkin', they always pull through. It's
Yeah.
like your last minute shopping for an outfit. You need
That's very you.
It's very me. And
Yeah.
I'd be like, shit. Like I'm going to a wedding or something. I need a tie. I'm going to Marshalls. I'm going to TJ Maxx. It might be the fuggliest tie you've ever seen, but I bought the tie, and that's all that mattered.
It's just like Walmart, where it's like I don't go ever to Walmart.
Yeah.
But there's a Walmart in LA, and anytime I've gone to like 10 fucking stores, because I'm also always my girlfriend's like, look it up online,
Yeah.
like you can, and I'm just like, don't think to do that. So
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
going to 7 different stores to try to find something. The last stop is always Walmart, and Walmart always has it, and it is always
Always.
a fucking horrifying experience.
Yeah.
Where it's like, first of all, okay, this is my message to Walmart. I don't like that you lock everything up. They lock everything up at my Walmart,
Really?
which
I
I hate.
haven't shaved my legs because of that reason.
I think it's so yeah.
You're like,
But-
I'm not gonna ask. for that.
yeah. But if you insist on locking everything up, then you need a big staff of people with keys.
Yeah.
You need someone stationed at the.
Of
Yes.
course,
Yeah.
because you're in a Walmart superstore. What's gonna happen? It's gonna take them
Yes.
15 minutes to get to you.
Yeah.
And I literally, last time I was I tried to build this IKEA shelf. It literally almost broke up my entire family. I thought I was going to, I became a really bad person. Like I became really, I was like so angry at everyone. And I was like, you know what, everyone, just leave me alone. Like I was really not in a good way because I'd had to go, they didn't have everything in the IKEA. It didn't come with everything you needed, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I was going back and forth to Walmart over and over
course.
again because it was the only place that had it. And so I would like press the button to be like, I need help to get this like drill bit or whatever. And it would be like 20 minutes of me standing there. And then I would like go up to a person, very similar Duncan vibe, where I'm like, I love you. You seem
Yeah.
like a great
Yeah.
person. But I would be like, I need to get this. And they would be like, I don't know how to get in there. And I'm like, that's not your fault, but what the literal fuck? Like, how am I supposed to buy? Because sometimes it's just electronics. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, but they have like toothpaste. They have
Yeah.
I'm like, how are people shopping here?
Yeah. It's yeah.
I've had enough.
I was gonna say they bought the vest at TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't work here.
Yeah, it is mortifying though, like having to press the button says need help when it's like when you don't want the section to be announced over the speaker. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Someone to like the back itch ointment
You're
section.
like, help assistance needed in the ointment section. I'm like,
Sexual illness.
Who the hell's in the
section.
ointment section? Because it couldn't be me.
That was like, there was a Rite Aid next to my apartment in New York that was like always empty, like
Yeah.
so empty, but everything was locked up. And I always was going there for, I was always going there for yeast infection medication.
You gotta.
It was just like, you always have to. And it was like silence. Like I'd walk in silence, and then I would walk to the aisle, and then I would leave, like clockwork, walk up to the woman and be like, I need you to get something out of the locked thing. And she's like, got
What do you
it.
need?
Just
you have
that
to like,
over
say
there.
it louder.
The yeast infection
She's like,
medication.
what did you say?
She's like, do you want the more expensive one? I'm like, no, store brand, thank you. It's like so devastating.
Oh God.
Truly devastating.
Have you guys ever worked retail?
No.
No, I have never worked retail.
Which I think is probably for the best
Good.
for us and for the general population.
Yeah.
Because I think that I would have probably become a monster.
Yeah.
I worked custodial. Me and Andrew both worked
Me
custodial.
too.
Custodial.
That
Yeah.
was a wild time.
It was almost like custodial times landscaping.
We were landscaping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maintenance.
Oh.
Maintenance was the
Yeah.
proper term. Yeah.
Did you like
Maintenance.
that job?
We had fun.
We had fun.
We
There
had
was
It's
a
a
golf
fun
cart.
job.
I learned I really like knew how to mow lawns. We were picking weeds.
We also had like it was like a staff of like bored, like hard ass, like 40-year-olds
Yeah.
men, and like we would be like the two fags like walking in every day and be like, hey guys.
Hey guys.
And then like I'll never forget, like we were also like such overachievers and like needed to make sure we were like getting our work done and
Yeah.
like wanted to be liked by these men, and we were like just standing watching them like shoot this shit in like their break room and like just
Like,
waiting for
giggling, like-
assignments and
Yeah.
being like, okay, like what do we need? And like this guy was like, it's fucking Friday, like
Yeah.
do whatever you want. And we were like,
and we
it's fucking Friday. And I think that
Crazy.
permanently altered our brain chemistry. Like
Yeah.
if that didn't happen, we would have like full-time corporate jobs for the rest
Yeah.
of our
Well,
lives.
they
Oh, yeah.
told us it was fucking Friday that day, and we got in the car and we went to the supermarket. And did we get like a Swiss meringue?
We got a Swiss meringue and we went to Jamba Juice or Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Yeah.
Tropical
We were like
Smoothie
popping
Cafe.
in those little, like, you know, the meringues, the hard ones. Yeah, we were popping those, and we're like, it's fucking Friday.
Friday.
I tell everyone, I'm like, if you're an introvert at all, or even not, being a janitor was the best job I ever had. It was fucking
Where
incredible.
were you a janitor?
At a celebrity gym.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was, which was fun because it wasn't hard work. Like, I feel like you guys were probably doing kind of some hard work
Well,
physically.
we could have.
Well,
been.
for, like, at the time, physically,
At the time
it was hard.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the hardest thing
Very
I've ever
hard.
done in my entire life.
Yeah. But the celebrity gym, it was kind of like they had people professionally come clean it on the weekends.
Yeah.
But I was kind of there. They wanted everyone to feel like it was constantly being cleaned. So it'd be
Got
like
it.
Vanessa Hudgens would use a thing and I would like wipe it down as she was using it and
Love
be
that.
like, it's clean from you for you.
Yeah. I love it.
But
You're like,
it was-
Vanessa, like, what are your thoughts on sneaker night?
Yeah.
Did you like that video? Or
yeah, but it was such a nice job. It was,
Yeah.
and because no one will tell you, like, I feel like janitor is a job that like people, which they shouldn't, but they like feel bad that you're doing it. Like I think because they feel like, oh, you're cleaning up after me. Like
Yeah.
they feel
Uh-huh.
bad about it. So no one will ever comment on what you've
Yeah.
done. Like if I didn't do my job all day, no one's gonna be like, oh, there's dust on that. Like no one
Yeah.
would.
Yeah.
So you could just kind of not do anything, and people would literally not, unless someone like. But then like something like someone would vomit, and then they're indebted to you for everyone's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm
Oh.
so, and it's like, well,
People
once
were,
every
like,
2 weeks I gotta clean up some
throwing
vomit.
up at the celebrity gym.
Vanessa
often.
has a problem.
Yeah,
with
Vanessa. No, people
Um,
would.
I used to clean beach houses, and so like there was vomit every single because we'd like
Oh,
cycle them out
God.
on like Wednesdays because people come for like Thursday, whatever.
parties, yeah.
Vomit everywhere every single time. So
like-
ungrateful.
Damn.
But yeah.
That's wild.
yeah,
tough.
no, we weren't cleaning up any throw up
No.
Oh.
for a good reason. Yeah.
We
For
were-
a good reason.
For a good
We
reason.
said no.
We
We
were
said
working at an
no.
ice rink also.
Yeah.
It was an ice rink / skate park.
This
so
is a TV show.
fun.
Anything
Yeah.
with you two, I'm like, that's a TV show.
Well, that's what we're going for.
That's
That's
also
the goal.
what we think.
Yeah.
So it's the delusion.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've now in the last year, like your lives have changed a lot in the last year.
Yeah.
Has
I
that
would say.
been wild?
I think that we haven't really even given ourselves the time to process what's going on. Like, I really still feel like I was working a sales job, and then we put out our first episode, and it started to do well, and then I was like, I quit.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm sorry, no, you quit beforehand,
I did,
and the
'cause
email
that
that
was
you
gaslighting.
sent.
Was it vicious?
No,
I almost wish it was.
Listen, I wouldn't be vicious, but I will be delusional. So
Yeah.
I did
That's
quit
good.
beforehand, and I quit this job, and I sent the email, and I basically was like, my entire life, I've always wanted to entertain people. Like, that's always wanted to do. I never felt like I had the outlet to do so. So now it's time to follow my calling and listen to my inner child and entertain. And then what happened?
But you had it wasn't like, like you booked a role.
No.
It wasn't like you were like nothing.
I was pretending like I was going on a worldwide tour. And like people just like did it. I was like,
They
I
said,
signed
who
an
are you
NDA.
entertaining?
I signed an NDA and I couldn't tell them what I was doing. But then like I also like I did hyperlink This Is Me. Camp Rock, at the end, because I was like, it's time for me to have my Mitchie moment. No,
was it a joke, or were you for real with that?
So like that was a joke. That part was a joke, but the email itself.
But
no,
it
I just felt like it kind of encapsulated
a joke.
It kind of encapsulated the whole email. It kind of was like, let's hit him with the emotion.
So it's not a joke.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't a joke, but
Yeah,
like at
'cause
the
that's
time,
real.
people were thinking like, oh no, like we lost him. It's like
The gas leak.
The
got
gas
him.
leak got him. Like he's delusional. and,
Was
like,
that
it's
during the gas
over.
leak?
Yes.
'Cause that
And
is
your
gas leak
coworkers
behavior.
knew about the gas leak?
The coworkers didn't know about the gas leak. No,
Okay.
but I did mention the podcast was going to exist if it did, and I quit. We started the podcast, and then it started doing well, and then ever since we haven't really processed what's going on, because
That's
I wasn't in
incredible.
social media or anything beforehand. I honestly, like, I really didn't like social media, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm learning as we go.
Do you like it right now?
No, I mean, like, I
I'm the
definitely
same
feel
way.
like I do feel like I need to be doing more always. It's like that's my thing that I personally deal with. It's like I should always be doing more, and I feel that with social media. But I'm loving podcasting.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't shut up, literally. But
That's so
Yeah.
incredible.
so the past year has been crazy.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
I love social media.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm addicted.
Yeah.
I've had a love-hate relationship, but I think recently I turned it around, and I'm like, actually, I just like it. I think telling myself I hated it, or like being like, oh, this is bad for me, I shouldn't like it,
Yeah.
made me hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Since I was like a child, I have been a victim to social media, like Tumblr, Twitter, webkinsinsider.forum.com.
Woo!
Yep.
Don't
Heard
get
of
me
it?
Yes.
Heard of it.
Webkins
I
Insider?
fucking invented it. But
Were you on Webkins Insider?
well, I was on Webkins.
Well, that's different.
Wait,
That's
what is
different. Once you take the step to being a daily user of a forum called Webkins Insider, that was like 40-year-olds, children writing like fanfic.
Wow. I'm
Oh,
fan
yeah.
fiction
Yeah, I wrote
with like
I
the
wrote
guy who sells
Webkins
gems.
Artifact. Yeah.
Artifact.
Artifact.
Welcome to the stage.
I would use like Microsoft Paint and like put this is insane in retrospect, and I don't think I've ever actually processed it. I would like put Artifact in drag in like MS Paint.
There
Like,
it
I would like
is.
Yep.
use like the
Yeah.
spray paint tool and like give him like a balayage and be like, here he is. Yeah.
There's a
Welcome to the
lot
stage,
to unpack
Artifact.
there.
Process there.
There's a lot there.
Yeah,
I love Webkins. I've been trying to log in. I can't. But maybe I should just buy a
Yeah.
new one. But because I missed some of those games.
They were,
Yeah.
they were
Wacky
some fun games.
Zingos.
Polar
Remember that?
Plunge.
Mm-hmm.
Polar Plunge was
Cash Cow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Picnic.
Mm-hmm. Just
With
let's
the
keep
ants.
naming
What was it
them.
called?
Yeah. Just keep going. We're over the.
A
Mhm.
slow fade.
Just start making them up.
I was a Neopets person, and this guy was like, "Let me help you get something in Neopets. Send me your username and password." And
No.
he took my account, and then I created a new one, and I forgot about them, and they've just been starving. You
I can't
know.
believe your Neopets were
Dying.
kidnapped.
I know, and by two guys in Bahrain.
You're
So
kidding.
no, I thought they were my friends.
Well, not anymore.
I know.
Not anymore.
Oh my
Holy
god.
hell.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
and doing
you.
this
Thank
you
with
for
us.
having us.
We're so,
This
it
was a
so-
delight.
This was so much fun. We laughed.
I literally am
We
always
got
like,
dark. It got dark.
It got-
but it also got
it got to
important.
the
It
end
got
of the world.
really important.
Yeah.
I'm always like, we should just. I'm like, we should just keep. You should just come on every time, and we'll just all four just have podcasts together.
Please,
Yeah.
please, we'd love.
Listen, we're available anytime.
Yeah.
Such a treat, and I'm so happy for you. Like, this is so exciting to be a
Yes.
Radar podcast. Like in 1 year of having a podcast, it's
Yeah.
insane.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Is
crazy.
this is the first year it's happened, right?
It's like
I
back.
think they're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
Okay, I know it was for like musicians and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hell yeah.
How
the
when
fresh
you
face.
found out, what was your reaction?
Oh, I screamed. I think I was crying.
Crying.
Yeah, I think I was crying.
We
I-
saw the event takes place in London, and it was like
Yeah.
it was the golden ticket, American Idol. It was like,
Yeah.
holy
Holy
fucking
Yeah.
shit, we made it.
Joe texted me, "We're going to London." I was like, "What do you mean?" And then we saw the email, and yeah, we were fully sobbing. It was just like because it was the first time that we were like, "Whoa, what we're doing is like being recognized," and like it felt really special. And it's like it literally still is. Like last night, also like meeting everybody was like, "This is something that you could dream about."
Yeah. I think especially like, I think it takes a heavy dose of delusion to do anything, but
Especially
like
a podcast.
the moment, well, yeah, and then I think the moment that someone professionally is like, no, I think you're doing a good job. It's like, oh, I'm not like so out of my mind. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not actually like jumping off the deep end. Like,
Yeah.
somebody thinks that maybe this could be like a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good feeling. I was like, okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's so, and your podcast is so good. Like, even it's just like it like is so special to have a friendship for that long and to know someone on that level. Like, I don't even know if I have like. There's no one I have in my life that I've known since I was that age that I'm like still the same level of close now. Like that is
Yeah.
a very like special thing. And so to get to like hear that perspective, but also like it be gay and it be Long Island-y and it be all of that is so fun.
Everyone's looking for that gay Long Island
Yeah.
representation.
Yeah.
you know,
That's what's been
across the
missing.
world.
That's
what's missing.
Finally.
But thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you.
such a
Thank
treat.
Thank you.
To have you.
Yeah.
Do you guys take guest requests?
Yeah.
Have you ever had the Long Island Medium on?
No, but you're not the first person to request Teresa
Yeah.
Caputo.
I think she would be amazing.
She'd be amazing. Oh my god, if she
She did a
us
reading?
Yeah. In the
Wait.
studio?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wait, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
We'll make some
Do you guys know
Oh.
anyone?
calls.
I don't know if this is personal. Do you know anyone who's passed that she could possibly?
Oh, dozens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be there all night.
All right.
We can have a full 6-hour conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah, and you could take requests too. So viewers, you could be like, Janelle from Pittsburgh wants to talk to
Yeah.
her grandmother who was hit by a bus.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a great.
That's
a
a
great
really.
one.
I'm
Okay.
gonna send an email.
Thank you,
right
Sarah.
after
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
that's incredible.
Executive producer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna regret. You're gonna regret it. Sarah's gonna be emailing you, being like,
Yeah.
Here's another
Here's
person
an-
from Long
Yeah.
Island.
yeah, and I'll expect my Venmo. No, thank you so much, and thank you all for listening to. My stomach just growled. Did you hear that?
Mine's been
did.
tossing and
I
turning.
definitely have to like go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to Spotify for having us in the
Yes.
building. We're actually at the Spotify
London office.
London office, which
Yeah.
has been a treat. They gave me this water and they gave me this mug.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come in being like, we didn't give you that.
Yeah, we're taking that
So
back.
we're taking that back.
Like, watch it. Actually, watch that.
Watch that and place it back in the kitchen. Thank you. But thank you all so much, and remember to listen to us on Spotify. And
Wait, where
What?
can we find
Yeah.
you guys?
Oh.
Across all platforms at Good Children Pod.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yes.
All right. Well, we can't wait to keep listening, and thank you all so much for being here.
Where can we find you?
But like Kendahl was saying, like make sure to rate us. We're only going to talk about Spotify. Make sure to rate us 5 stars
Yeah.
on Spotify.
Yes.
Because I don't know about that other thing.
I don't
But
know what it is.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
and subscribe to our YouTube. And
Yep.
you can't rate us on YouTube, can you?
No, but you
write
can
a
like and
comment.
comment, and you can
Yes.
give us a little virtual kiss on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you were to comment this time, they're so gay. We would love it.
We would
Yeah.
love
We're reclaiming that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're in love with each other and they're gay. And we'll be like,
Yeah,
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.